Hi, how you doing? It's Jeff Sinker from SkypeGuitarLessonsOnline.com. Just had a request recently for another Genesis track. I was following on from the song I did Entangled. They asked me if I could do a song lesson for Ripples. And I've always loved that song. Trick of the Tail. Last time that Steve Hackett was with Genesis, Entangled, Rippled, great songs. And I thought, why not? Let's do it. Done quite a bit of research on the song itself, and the song was written by Mike Rutherford and Steve Hackett, and a lot of the guitar lines was actually done by Mike Rutherford, and he played it to us, especially when you see him play it live. He has a 12-string guitar with the capo on the 2nd fret, which gives access to these chords that he's been using throughout. So what I've done, because of the two guitars working together, I've done a bit of a kind of combination of the two. So when you play this, following the information I've given you, it should sound very, very similar to the song that you hear on the record. It's not going to be exact. There's just too many overlays with the guitar lines to do it. So I thought, no, let's just do this the way I hear it, the way I'd interpret it if I was playing this live. Well, I hope you'll enjoy this lesson. If you do, don't forget to click on the subscribe button, and always nice to have your support. And if you've got any other requests similar to this one, just let me know. I'll see if it will fit into my schedule. But what we're going to do, I'm going to play each section and I'm going to break it down and talk you through it note by note. So, you know the drill. Don't go away.
Preview.
Before we get into the song itself, I just wanted to talk about this capo and also how it kind of works with the chord charts that will be appearing as we go through this song. Obviously this is on 2nd fret, so the chord diagrams I've given you are treating this as 0. So all the information that you get there is kind of the capos there, just follow the chords as you'll see them. But the chord names have been changed because of the capo. So, but you'll see all these chords appear, and there will be a sheet that you can download. There's a link beneath. You can download the sheets, so you'll have all the chords in front of you to follow. So, let's get into the first section. And we got this little intro that he plays through, and it's over a D major 7 chord, and I'm using the open D string to really add texture to this. So what I'm playing the D note, and with that D major 7, which is like a D minor shape here, what we've got there, I'm playing the G and the B string together. And then I do a little take on the harmony line. I always like to add this in, of what Phil Collins and also what Steve Hackett was doing on the guitar. So I'm going to go from, which is on the 7 on the high E, to 6, crossing to B7. So I get this. Then I'm going to pick up this A major 7 chord, and again I'm going from the D string, but this time I go to the high E. So I get, and then we are going to play an A7, and the way I'm playing this, I'm dropping down my first finger down to the 5 chord, so it's a bit of a stretch, and again following that bass line. So So again, I'm playing them two, the B and the E. And again, I'm now going to put a little melody line in where I go playing that 5 on the high E, and I'm going to drop my little finger across the 9th fret, and I'm going to play B9, B9, G9, and then D9. So and then I go to this D chord, but I'm bringing in the third here, the major third, which would be an F sharp. But in this case, now, because of the capo, we're actually on 6th fret. So I've got a normal D shape, but I don't want to play the open D string. I want to bring in this note here, which is that major third. So I take that shape, which kind of very similar as if you're playing a B minor 7, but I'm just keeping it down on the G string. And I'm playing the bass note with the high E and the B string. So then I move across this F sharp minor, and I'm just playing through the chord with the fingers. So from that, now I'm going to go to a C minor 6 chord. Again, if you look at the picture there, I'm on 6, 7, 7 on the G and the G and the D, and then 8 on the A string. And what I'm going to do in the first one, I'm going to play the bass note and then go to the B string. Then run down that chord, so I'm going up. Then I'm picking up 8 on the B, back to the 6, and then down the chord to this D7. So I'm switching from then I repeat back. Then I go to a B flat, up a whole tone to a C. And then I've got an F sus4 to an F major chord. So me playing that sequence through. Flat, C, now the next time I'm playing the same chords to start with, but what he tends to do now is a lot more activity with the fingers, and he tends to do a chord, and then when he moves to the next chord, a lot more movement with the fingers. So we're going to start off the same. So I'm doing a lot of finger style there. Then I drop down to the A7. Then F sharp, sorry, the D to the F sharp minor. To that C minor 6. D7. At this point, he goes into the pre-chorus section. And on the pre-chorus, we start off with this E diminished chord, which is, I'm playing the high E on 5, B4, G5, and D4. To a D minor, normal D minor. E diminished. And then we go to that B flat. Now, he goes to a C chord, but instead of going to the C, I want to keep the B flat in the bass line. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go from this B flat and I'm going to move up. So my first finger is across 7th fret, and I'm going to use my second finger to bring the B flat in here on the low E, so it's on the 8th fret, and I'm muting the A string. So I get this. So that sounds quite nice to come from that, where I'm coming in on that B, so I've got this B flat, then across, so I get B flat, and then I'm going to play an A7 sus4 to an A7. So let me just play that section going through into the pre-chorus. So. And now we are into the chorus section, which really is the standout part of this song. This is a point where you're going to grab your pick and we're going to start strumming. And the first chord we're going to use, let me play the chord and then we'll talk about the strumming action, is a G major 7. Now, where I'm playing that, I've got my finger here on 5th fret, second finger on 5th fret. I'm muting the A string with that second finger. And I've got my first finger here on 4th, so I get this G major 7. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. That is your strumming pattern. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So we go on G major 7. To an A7. Now, what we are going to do, we're going to play a standard A7 chord, but we're going to keep the G in the bass there, so we use our third finger to play the 5th fret on the low E, so you get this. So it sounds nice going from that. Then we're going to go to a D. D7, standard D, D7. Then we're going to play an E minor, but I'm playing it this. I normally tell my students off if they play like that, but in this case, you're allowed to. You're going to play on 4 on A and 4 on the D string, because you want to keep these two fingers available, because they're going to play down to change it into an E minor 7 chord. So you're getting this. On that E minor 7, and then we're going to drop the third finger onto the 2nd fret of the G string, so we get an E sus4 chord, going to an E major. So let me play through the chorus and then just follow it. I'll call it the chords as we're playing it through. G major 7, A7 with a G in the bass, D, D7, E minor 7, E sus4, E. Now on the first time round, on the first chorus, he goes back to the G major 7, to an A7, then he goes to a D. Then you got that nice little piano beat. And then we go back to another verse. So we go back and repeat everything again. When we get to the chorus the second time, he plays the chorus loop, where you're ending up on that E sus4. And he goes back and plays a complete cycle again of the G major 7, A7. He doesn't go to the D this time, he goes straight through D, D7, A minor, D minor 7, E sus4, E, and the end goes back to the G major 7, A7 with a G, and then he holds on that D. And from there, it goes into that long extended solo where you've got the keyboards going, the guitars in the background. I'm not covering that bit, I'm afraid. It just goes on so long, and we've got the keyboards in there to add that effect. It doesn't really do too much. It's part of a lesson side. I'm just covering the verse, the chorus, everything that really Phil Collins sang through. Sorry, complaints, but that's what I'm going to cover on this lesson. Well, all of the sections have now been covered. There's a lot of interpretation that you can do with this. I as I said, when I did this song, I played it, listened to the track, looked at other people who played it, just looked at live versions, and I decided just to do it as the single guitar. So I've added a little bit of the melodies, I kind of pinched a little bit from what Steve Hackett was doing, which I'm quite happy with. So, but of course you can do your own little variations listening to the track if you want. Now you've got the chords, you're kind of really open to do what you want on that. Well, I hope you've enjoyed it, but if you did, click on that subscribe button. I'll keep you notified of when I've got new videos coming out, which at the moment I'm trying to do a minimum of 1, and if I can, 2 a week. So that's what we're aiming for at the moment. So your support in all my endeavours is always appreciated. Well, I'm going to let you go. You can download the sheet, little instructions down there, and you can start to practice and put together this song. But until the next time I speak to you, this is Jeff Zinker from SkypeGuitarLessonsOnline.com, wishing you well, and I do look forward to seeing you all again soon. Until then, goodbye.